In this video, I'm going to show you how to make assignments for your students. Now, when you sign up for Classkick, if you have the Pro version, you'll see a screen similar to this. So on the left-hand side here, you have your name, and then you have a number of different options down here: assignments, rosters, notifications, profile, etc. Now, you only really need to start from assignments because everything else, including rosters and everything else, can go from the assignments tab. So over here you have your assignments, and this will essentially be empty when you start, but as you progress you will slowly build up lots of folders and lots of assignments, and they will always stay there until you want to delete them. Now, to make a folder in the Pro version, you can go to the top right hand corner and there's a plus. If you click on the plus, you'll have a number of options. At the bottom you have create folder. You click on create folder and you can name it whatever you want. So for example, IGCSE year 10. And then you can press done and a folder will appear. Now, if you click on that folder, you can then press plus again and you can make assignments. And I will highly recommend to make assignments from files that you've created. So any worksheets that you've made in Word or PDF, you need to first convert all assignments into PDF. Quite easily done in Word, just by going to print and save as PDF. Once it's in a PDF format, you can press create from file and upload that document. Once you do that, you can then pick on your assignment and upload it. For example, now this is quite a large assignment, so it might take a little bit of time. And down here, it will show you the number of pages that you're going to import. And I'd like to import all of it because after you import all of it, you can also delete pages and modify. Or if you don't want to import all of it, you can highlight what you want to import. So you can just drag and highlight whatever you want to import from that document. But in my case, I want to import all pages. There you go, there's the pages. You can reorder them here, do what you want. You can add something else, but I'll just go to finish here. If you want to delete a page, you just delete it from here. And then there you go. The PDF that you have on your desktop, wherever it is, will be imported in. Now, this might take a bit of time depending on your Wi-Fi connection, your internet connection. I have 11 pages, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, there we go. So there is my imported assignment. It's a workbook, it's a PDF, and these are all the pages. Now you can save your workbook up here. So I will write here plants workbook. Okay. And that's it. Automatically it is saved. So there is no save button. Whatever you do automatically saves. On the right here you can put in the subjects and the grades. I don't really use this. It's not required. This is on private automatically. I would recommend to keep it that way. And down here you have your assignment. Now, if you want, you can move these around. You can add pages inside quite easily. On the bottom here, you have a number of points. If you click on those points, you can then move that wherever you want. You can copy it. You can obviously paste it once you've copied it. Okay, and you can delete it. If for whatever reason you want to add more files to this or more pages, you could always press this plus here, and that will add new blank pages. If you want to add a new worksheet, which you already have as a PDF in extension to this, you can do that by clicking on the folder, on the file, on the page, and up here you have a number of different options. You can click here, the picture, and then upload from computer, and then you can pick another PDF and that will add to that page. So later on, if you want to add something in your second lesson or your third lessons and so on, Or a useful tool was where you give a worksheet and you want to put the answers after a certain amount of time. You can add those answers in afterwards and all the students will see that. So that is basically how you set up your workbook. At the top here, you have a number of tabs. Click on Assign, and then you can assign a roster. This is your class. If you have duplicate classes, for example, you teach 2 classes in year 7 and you want to assign the assignment to both of them, you can do that very easily here. So click on Assign a roster, and then all the previous rosters that you have will be found here. You can click on one previously, or if you haven't made one, you can then make a new one here. So create a new roster. Write in what your roster wants, what you want to call your roster. So for example, this is a year 10 lesson. So I would write here year 10 or IGCSE year 10. Perhaps 10E, because that is the class which I teach, 10E3. 2022 or 2021 to 22. I would highly recommend you put the date because you want to keep this for next year, and you'll still be able to see the students' work in the previous years. Then press OK. You could change your color or whatever you want with that. And here you've got your class. It's been assigned to this class. And all you have to do to give it to the class is send them this class code or a link. There are a number of other things you can do here. You can show them their grades or hide their grades. You can put here helpers. This is peer helpers, where they can press a button and other students can help them. If you've made the assignment but you don't want to give it to them, for example, you've made an assessment and you've made it in advance and you don't want them to see it, you can hide the assessment by clicking on this button. And if, for example, it is an assessment and you don't want them to be able to modify anything, you can lock the assessment or the assignment by clicking this button here. So now I'm going to assign this to a class. I click on the class code here. Now, once you have sent this code to the student, either through a link or in the class by just giving them this code, the student will see the following. Once he's logged in to the app, he will see this. Now, the app is this application here. It's a Classkick app. He doesn't have to use the Classkick app. By clicking on this link, it will automatically open in Safari or in the web browser that the student is using. If the student has an iPad or a mobile device, I would highly recommend that he downloads the Classkick app, as it has much more functionality and a lot of other features. And it can also use pens to draw and solve answers and questions on the iPad or on the mobile device. So once you've opened the link, it will automatically either through the web browser or open on the application, you'll see this page. Now, this will be blank if it's the first time the student is using the app. In order to join, he needs to press the plus button at the top here. Now, by clicking on the plus button, he then automatically has to put a class code. And this is the code. Okay. And then if he submits that, it will automatically get him to join the class. Now, once the student joins the class, he will see the teacher's name first. And if he has many teachers, there will be many teachers here. So many different classes. Now, if I click on there, you will see the assignment that we've just made. If we make more assignments, they will come under here. Now, if I click on the assignment and it opens, there it is. And the student could carry on and solve the assignment. He can zoom in and zoom out, and there's a lot of other features up here. He can highlight, he can even add voice notes, he can add pictures if he wants. Let me give you an example. So if I move to something like this, and the student needs to fill in these gaps, and you could write here using a pen or his finger provides a large surface area. Okay, And this is a lot easier to do if you have the application rather than a web browser. And now, while the student is writing, you can see what he is writing, even though he is in his own house, he is wherever he is, whether he's in a class, you can see what the students are doing. By clicking up here, View Work, you'll see all of the students who are currently doing the assignment. All of the students will be here. The page which they are on will be highlighted in with a dark square around it. So if I show you here, this is page 4 and this is page 4. And as I move the pages, the dark square will also move, indicating where the student is. So you can use this to monitor the progress of the class if you've given them an assignment in real time. Now you can see a lot of different students here. By clicking on View Work, there's a number of different options you have. You can see all of the students when you see View All Slides up here. You can arrange the students in different ways. There are a lot of different filters here. You can allow peer helpers. You can hide and show student grades. You can hide the assignment if you don't want them to see it early. Or you can lock it if you don't want them to change anything. And so on. Now let me show you a feature here. If you scroll down, this is what the teacher is seeing. The student here is on page 1. As the student moves through the work, you can see where he is. And if you are watching a whole class do some work, you will also be able to see how fast they are progressing in this way. If you want to see what the student is doing, you can click on at any point, at any slide. For example, this student here. And you can watch what they are doing as they are doing it. So here they might decide to change their answers. So this is a multiple choice question. And so on. Now you can see what the student is answering and what the correct answer is, but the student cannot. If you want the student to see the answers, you can just show them the answers by clicking on the feature described before, which is the filters. So if I go back here, filters, and now you can show the answers here. And now the student can see how many marks he got on this page and which ones he got right or wrong. So again, I will go back and take that off. And now the student will not be able to see what they got. So you can do multiple choice questions. You can do other kinds of questions. For example, you can do spelling tests. You can do maths questions. So you can write in these boxes the answers. And let's say a student makes a mistake. I'll just put a few random numbers. And then you can do spelling tests. So if the student can listen to you saying a word.
Science.
And then you can type in the spelling of that word. And so on. You can do drag and drop activities. Like this. You can drag underneath here. Like this. And if you want, you can ask the student to do a recording. So if you want to do, for example, language teachers might ask a student to speak about their family in French or in Spanish or in Arabic. And the student, by clicking this microphone button, can record that. So, example, click, record. My name is Arif Hussein. I live in Mesaid. Press the start button. And that audio will go in here. And as a teacher, you will be able to see and play that audio. As a teacher, up here you'll see Edit, Assign, View Work. If for whatever reason you want to modify the assignment. Now, if you modify the assignment afterwards, it's going to delete whatever student's work is. So if you're going to delete a slide, all of those students' work on that slide will be deleted. Now, if I click edit here, you can go over here. So if you want to do a multiple choice, you could click on the correct answer and you can insert that wherever you want. So if you go down here, just like we've done here, let's say here the answer is C, you'll click here C, you'll assign a number of points, however many points you want to give, and that will be shown up here, and then you press save. And then you can drag that next to your question, just like I've done here. Now once that's done, the student will also see wherever you've put it, that's where it is. So the student will answer this question by clicking in this box. Now going to what the student will see, in order to answer that question, the student must make sure that he has this button clicked. If he has another button clicked, then he will not be able to click on that button. And this is a common mistake students make. So a lot of students complain that they can't click on this button. In order to click on the button, they need to use this button, the selector button here. And once they've clicked on that, they'll be able to move and make their choice. Now the next thing is how to make this fill-in box. In order to make this, you can just click on this box up here, and you can just drag how big you want the space for the student to write is. Then you can write in the answers. So whatever you want the students to write here, so the answer is here 0.324. If you want them to perhaps allow it to have it to 2 significant figures, you can put here 0.32, and you can add a lot of different acceptable answers here. Again, set the points, and that's it, you are done. And then the student, if I move over to what the student sees now, he can then click on this box and answer it however he wants. And again, as a teacher, you will see what the student is doing by going over to the student work, view work, going down to the student, and then clicking, and you can see what the student has written. Once he submits, there you go, and he's got it correct, 2 out of 2. Again, if I go back to the student's work, and as a teacher, I decide to let him see his answers, I click over here, back here, filters, allow students to see their answers. And then if I show you what the student now sees, he sees how many marks he's got, which ones he's got wrong.